Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox back for another episode of our preview of Podfest Expo 2023 speakers. Today, I'm thrilled to have with me Adam Flaherty. Adam, first of all, welcome and thank you so much for taking the time to visit with me today.
My pleasure, Tom. I appreciate the opportunity.
Adam, could you tell us what your role in, or roles, I should say, in podcasting?
Absolutely. So my background is actually in video production, but for the past 3 years, I've been producing a podcast of my own that started as a passion project called Modern Dadhood. It's a fatherhood themed project. And so I produce that show, I host that show, co-host, I should say, with my good friend Mark. And I also edit that show and subsequently create a lot of the promotional materials, video materials that we use to market the.
Could you tell us the topic of your talk at Podfest Expo 2023 and maybe give us a teaser?
Absolutely. So the theme of my session is going to be how to effectively use short form video to promote a podcast. I think that I'm unique to speak about this just because my entire career has been in video production. So producing, directing, commercial directing, and editing as well. And so storytelling has always been a big part of my career in marketing as well. And so it was a fairly easy decision for me to move into the podcasting space just because I have this background in storytelling. And naturally, when we started creating our episodes, I knew that we would be needing to use video to promote the episodes. And so what I'm going to be speaking about at Podfest and really excited to share with the audience is things like how to develop short form content that attracts new listeners. So my own sort of strategies and techniques for doing that, the various kinds of video that you can use to promote a podcast, some of the tools that are available to do that. So for me, so much of the content that I'm creating, not so much all of it, is custom because I have that skill set. But for folks who don't have the skill set, editing, video editing, animation, I'm going to be sharing some useful tools that are available either for free online or with a subscription to be able to create content really easily. And then some of the tools that I use to sort of entice guests to share out the content. So it's not just solely on myself and my co-host to get that content in front of people to generate new listeners, but also to leverage our guests' networks to turn new listeners onto our podcast.
Adam, let me ask, if I could, what do you hope to get out of Podfest Expo 2023?
For me personally, I just have always been a big proponent of networking. I can't tell you how many times I have made advancements in my career or how many opportunities have presented themselves just from accessing the network of people who I've connected with over the years, or the amount of times that I've been able to connect other people who should know each other. Networking is extremely powerful. It's something that I'm really excited about doing at Podfest. But in terms of learning, I think for me, because my own project has always been a passion project, I have a few ideas that I'm stewing on and begin pre-production for new podcasts. And so I'm really excited about learning about the process of pitching podcasts to networks and how to effectively monetize podcasts.
Adam, unfortunately, we're near the end of our time for this episode, but before we leave, I was wondering if our listeners wanted any more information on yourself, on Anchorline, about your podcasts, where would be the best places or place for them to go?
Absolutely. So for Anchorline, my video production company, listeners can go to anchorline.tv. And to hear my own podcast, you can go to moderndadhood.com. And you can find either of those on most any of the social media platforms as well.
Well, Adam, I'm greatly looking forward to catching up with you in now a couple of weeks at Podfest Expo in Orlando from January 26 to 29. Thank you again for taking the time to visit with me.
Very good. Thanks so much, Tom.